everyone. Welcome to Hallmark Movie Drafts, where our panel of three guest drafters are Hallmark movie enthusiasts who love to rate, rank, and debate all things Hallmark movies related. Since it's February, or as Hallmark calls it, Loveuary, I think it's the perfect time to create the definitive list of the 10 best Hallmark movies about one of my very favorite movie tropes, a fake relationship. I'm Lynn, your host, and with me is Erinbeth, my co-host. Erinbeth, one of the reasons that I love this trope so much is because it's so bonkers. I can honestly say that I don't know anyone in real life who has pretended to be engaged or fake dated one another to advance their career or make their parents happy. I mean, that's just me. I'm in New Hampshire, so maybe I'm wrong. What about you? Do you know anyone like this?
Do imaginary boyfriends count? Because if they do, his name was Philip. We were 13 and very much in love.
Okay, you're going to have to give me the details off the air, because that's a whole nother show. Joining us today as a guest co-host is fellow Deck the Hallmark double-decker, Catherine. Catherine, this is your first time as a guest co-host, but you are an experienced and savvy HMD panelist, having drafted in our Filmed on Location draft and then last month's epic Christopher Palaha movies draft. And in each of those, you chose a wine to enjoy throughout the game that related to the movies in some way. And for tonight, you've done something extra special for us as we play the game and for our listeners to enjoy when they hear this pod. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I paired a wine with my first two drafts, and I was rewatching all of these fake relationship movies and trying to look for my wine pairing inspiration, and just nothing was coming up. So finally I got to the movie All Saints Christmas, and I had some inspiration from the fruitcake that Lizette's mom makes in that movie, which, to quote, has too much rum, too much brandy, too much port, and too much bitters. And then her fake fiance proceeds to get pretty buzzed off of that cake. So I decided we need a cocktail to go with this draft. So I reached out to double-decker and DTH producer extraordinaire mixologist Erin, who graciously created two drinks, one alcoholic, one non-alcoholic, for this draft that were inspired by the All Saints Christmas beverage or fruitcake. And I think we're all having one of these tonight. I think we all made one, right?
We did. I made the fruitcake one. And I have some water. I actually tested it out last night. So I think we're going to try to do a screenshot of us all, at the end, to show everybody our drinks if we're still sober, because these babies are potent. And you can actually find the recipes that Erin gave us for these. There's a non-alcoholic version, and then there's an alcoholic version. And those are on the Hallmark Movie Drafts Instagram. And I think we'll be posting it. You'll be posting it on the Facebook page too, because everyone should try these. So yay. Okay, so let's jump right into introducing our three guest panelists, the drafters, all three of whom are Deck the Hallmark podcast double-deckers. So over the past several weeks, they've been putting together their own top 10 lists, their own personal ones featuring this trope, and they've ranked them for their personal choices from 10th best to their number one favorite. So working with and against one another today, they're going to try to get as many of their own picks on the final list, ideally in the positions they have them in on their own list. And if you've ever doubted our panelists' commitment to drafting, let me tell you that there was a movie literally that aired last night that has this trope, and it's called Paris Proposal, starring Alexa Penavega and Nicholas Bishop. And every single one of us has watched this movie, and therefore it is eligible. It's included in the list of the 20 eligible movies that we'll be trying to narrow down to 10 today. So first up is Sarah. Sarah, this is your first time drafting with us. You're a fan of the fake relationship trope. In fact, you were such a huge help in identifying some eligible movies that some of us had completely forgotten about. And the earliest one on this list actually premiered in 2004. That's almost 20 years of fake relationships on Hallmark. I mean, I was shocked when we saw the completed list. So what do you love about this trope, and how hard was it for you to put together your list?
Yeah, oh, I love that you mentioned it at the beginning. This is bonkers new. No one I know in real world has faked this. I mean, yeah, no, but it's so for that reason, it's got the fairy tale quality to it, the like idea that, oh, somehow this, pretty woman kind of, without the hooker, will be like super great and romantic. And it was, I think I kind of went in having watched most of the movies, and I had a good idea of what I wanted for sure in my top 3, and that never really changed. But yeah, I mean, I sat there and I was like, oh no, I've been watching these movies since 2004. Oh no, I've been watching. So yeah, it was fun.
There's some that come up almost every year. I'm sure you've
Mhm.
got your favorites. I won't try to wheedle out any other intel from you. What do you did you make one of Erin's mixology drinks?
Yes, I definitely did. I made one. I made 3 last night, and they were delicious. So well done, Erin. Yeah.
Done,
So
Erin.
this is a double today, and you said we're gonna show everybody what's at the end. So we'll see if there's anything left.
Yeah, I think glasses might be empty. So our next up is Emily. Emily, you drafted in our very first show back in September 2022. It was the best 11 Andrew Walker Hallmark movies out of the 21 that he had made at that time. Your husband is busy, Mrs. Walker, aka Mrs. Walker, as you're known in the Double Decker group. I think he's made like 2 or 3 since then that have aired, right?
I think I've lost count, Lynn, honestly.
Is he ever home?
Actually, yeah, he's getting ready for the big game tonight. He's in the kitchen making some bowls here for us.
This is great. Well, when I wanted to do this, have this as a theme, the fake relationship trope, of course, I said it has to be Emily, aka Mrs. Walker, doing this, because one of the beautiful things about the fake relationship trope is that it might start out fake, but then it becomes very real. And that's exactly what I think of when I think of you and Andrew Walker at Bramblefest, doing karaoke, dancing.
Yeah,
it just must be amazing to be around him and to have someone that just, vibes with you.
Yeah, you're very right about that. That was, it is actually real for y'all that don't know that. But yeah, we had the pleasure of also seeing each other again at Christmas Con, and that was a blast. We had a great time. He looked at me very lovingly. There's a few people on that we're friends with that actually thought he was actually going to kiss me in real life.
I did. When I saw that photo,
talk to the 2 people. Producer Erin was there, and she's the one that thought that was going to happen. And well, I wouldn't have hated it. Should have happened. I mean, we are engaged.
It was the best kiss interrupted. You know how they interrupt kisses on Hallmark movies?
Yeah, that happened by the photographer, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he hasn't made a fake relationship movie yet, and I would love to see him do one. So if you could speak to him about that, I'd appreciate it.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, great. So finally, our third drafter is me. I am so stoked to do this. When I first started Hallmark Movie Drafts, I knew right away when I was reeling Erinbeth into this whole craziness, I said, there is one theme that we absolutely have to do, and I want to be a drafter, so we'll do it, after we get our feet wet and everything else. So I am super excited, nervous, nauseous, and thanks to Erin, maybe a little happier than I should be with these cocktails. I don't know. But I'm really excited to turn everything over to Erinbeth, who's going to lead us through the game, and to Catherine, who is going to lead us through trivia and do all the color commentary. So, and Erinbeth, I know that in a couple of months, you're actually going to be drafting on a specific topic as well. So Catherine will be back with us again. Catherine's part of the fam right here. So,
Yep.
So are you ready to do this?
I am ready, as I am the sober podcaster today.
Well, take it away.
I'm going to drive this train. Okay, so I'm going to do just a quick review of the gameplay. To be eligible, the movies had to have premiered on Hallmark or Hallmark Movies and Mysteries channel. We also agreed fake relationship is defined as pretending to be the date for a significant family business or holiday event, either for an event, weekend, or longer, or pretending to be a dating, engaged, or married couple. There were 20 Hallmark movies that met this criteria. As Lynn said, working with and against one another, you are trying to get as many titles from your personal top 10 list onto the final top 10 list, ideally in the position you have them ranked on your own list. So here's how we do this. There are 3 drafting positions, A, B, and C, and each position has a certain number of chances to offer up a movie title in a specific place, 10th to first place. These are called your picks. In addition to your picks, each drafting position gets at least 1 veto card that you can play in the game. If you dislike an opponent's movie choice or disagree with where it's listed in the ranking, Sarah, Emily, and Lynn already understand how the veto cards work. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, you'll catch on as the game is played. Here are the 3 drafting positions. The rotation follows the serpentine format used in sports team and fantasy sports teams when picking or drafting players for their teams. Drafter C picks positions 10, 7, and 3. Drafter C gets 1 veto card and 1 veto override card. Drafter B picks 9, 6, 4, and 2. Drafter B gets only 1 veto card because this position gets 4 picks instead of 3. So more chances to get movies from your personal list onto the final list. Drafter A picks 8, 5, and 1 and gets 1 veto card plus 1 bonus veto card. So this position gets to pick the number 1 movie and gets 1 additional veto card to use, which acts like a normal veto. How do we decide who gets to be drafter A, B, or C? That's determined by the trivia round. Catherine has come up with Hallmark movie-related trivia questions related to this trope. The first person to answer 1 question correctly gets to choose whether they want to be drafter A, B, or C. The second person to answer the next question correctly chooses from the remaining 2 positions, and the remaining person gets whatever drafting position is left. Keep in mind that if you win the trivia round, you get to pick your drafting position first, but you'll also be first in the veto card order in each round. You'll be the first to declare if you agree with or if you're going to veto it. Catherine and I will be keeping track of this for you. So let's get to the trivia round. Catherine, let's do it.
All right, so there are 4 rules when it comes to trivia. The first one is the patience like a high school boyfriend rule. And that one means that you cannot answer until I finish asking the question, no jumping in before I finish speaking. Number 2, answer big ones. As soon as I finish asking the question, just shout out your answer. We are not going to call on you. And if you guys answer at the same time, Erinbeth and I will decide who we thought we heard first. If it was too much of a tie, we'll pick another question. The failed Christmas tree lighting rule. I will tell you if your answer is right or wrong. If you're wrong, you can't guess again until the other 2 drafters have made a guess. And the last rule, if I have to give you a hint or a clue, then anyone can answer and we'll start back over until someone gets it right. And then it's okay to guess again. So that
Right.
those are the rules. If everyone's on board, we'll get started with trivia. All right.
I'm dreading this.
I'm so scared.
This is the most pressure.
All right, the first question I have is, what does Ryan say his name is when Santa sends him to be Holly's boyfriend in A Boyfriend for Christmas?
Doug Furwood.
Got it. There you go.
Good
Doug
job,
Furwood
Sarah.
is the
I
answer.
know that movie.
Wow.
All right, great. The next one. Daniel Lissing stars as Jessica Lowndes' fake fiance in A December Bride. Name his other non-When Calls the Heart Christmas movie for the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, I can see it. It's the one where Brooke Dorsey is making wreaths, and there's like a craft festival. What is the name of that?
You guys want a hint?
Emily is actually like holding her head. I
We're
remember
all
this.
holding our heads. I don't know. I
Crinkle.
can't think of the title.
Crinkle. Isn't it the Crinkle movie?
Yeah, you guys are both like, you have the movie correct.
Here,
Yes,
Can't think of the name.
it's the right movie.
This is
Can't
the
think of
best hint I can come up with. It is the single most generic Hallmark movie name. Any Hallmark movie could be named this, filmed in the Christmas season.
Holly Joe.
A Happy Holiday.
I think we're
Other
gonna
than that
Christmas
one.
everything.
Christmas. I've lost it. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Okay.
It is called Christmas in Love.
Oh my.
Well,
All right. Next question. In An Unexpected Christmas, what Olympian does Emily's company book for an upcoming campaign?
Joiner.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll accept it. That's correct, Jackie Joyner Kersey. Yeah.
I was gonna think of the whole entire name. Gosh, Brian, you guys, I was going with the Brian Harold effect there.
All right.
All right. So
Go ahead.
Sarah, you got the first one right, and Lynn the second. Emily, you will get whatever's left over. So Sarah, do you know which drafting order you want to be in?
God. No.
No. No idea.
I really I was like prepared to just not know anything. So I wasn't prepared to make a decision, but I think I'm gonna go with B.
Drafter B. So Sarah is locked in drafter B. Veto order 1. Lynn,
Sarah took the
you have a
position
lot.
that I wanted. Oh,
Like you have a lot of experience here. What is the best way to go?
I'm going to be drafter C.
Wow.
All right. Lynn is going to be drafter C, second in the veto order. And Emily, that puts you drafter A. So just to review, Emily, you will have 8, 5, and 1. You have 1 veto plus 1 bonus veto. Sarah is drafter B. You get 9, 6, 4, and 2 with 1 veto. And Lynn is drafter C. You get 10, 7, 3, 1 veto, and 1 veto override. All right.
And for the
So
veto
just a couple
order,
of, and veto order is Sarah, Lynn, then Emily.
Okay.
All right. Just a couple of quick notes before we start playing. Making and sending pics. Using the Zoom chat, you're going to DM me, not everyone, just me, your pick. Use the full title of the movie, please. Try to type the full title. So if it's called A Boyfriend for Christmas, please include A because my reference list is alphabetical. I'll announce the title to the group, the year it premiered, who stars in it, the storyline description from IMDb or Hallmark, which gives a top line description of the plot. You'll then state your case as to why you like this movie, why you chose it for your list, and why you feel this position is at the number it is. If your pick gets vetoed, you will need to select another title from your list and send it to me as a DM in the Zoom chat, and then we rinse and repeat. So there is a host side hustle between Catherine and I. As always, we have also selected our top 10. Right before the recording started, we did email this to each other and we have them. We've put together the lists, and whichever one of us has the most titles that appear on the final drafted list wins. Ours don't have to be in the same order as your list. They just have to be on the list overall. And then finally, if we need to take a break after the 6th title, we can do that. Otherwise, we will just keep going. If you need a break before then, just let us know and we will pause. Are there any questions?
No.
All right, then let's get started with Lynn and the 10th pick. When you are ready, type the title into the Zoom chat, directed to me only. Oh, Lynn already had that one in there. She knew it. It was there. So not totally surprised by this, but this is a 2015 movie with Hilary Burton, Paul Campbell, and Tim Conway. And it is Surprised by Love. Josie is a no-nonsense businesswoman working at her father's prosperous cookware company and thinks her boyfriend Richard is the perfect man, handsome, successful, and driven. Josie's parents disagree. When Josie meets up with Maxwell, an underachieving old high school flame, Richard dreams up a plan to make himself look good to Josie's parents. Maxwell will be Josie's date for the weekend at her parents' upcoming anniversary party. When they see Josie with unsophisticated Max, they will give anything to have Richard back in the picture. At least that's the plan. So, Lynn, why do you like Surprised by Love?
So I wish you could see the reactions on the screen by Emily and Sarah. I'm not sure. Emily has such a freaking poker face. But Sarah had an immediate reaction, and I'm not sure if she's smiling or not. I love this movie. I watch it anytime that it is on. Why do I love it? For one thing, this is Paul Campbell when he was charming. Yes, this is Paul Campbell when he is charming. And in this storyline, nearly everyone has a secret of some kind that's revealed throughout the movie in some way. And Paul Campbell's character, Max, he has the most improbable job. He makes sculptures out of driftwood and evidently utensils in a park, not even in a studio. And he drives a van that he fuels on used cooking oil. Of course he does. Totally bonkers. But he's happy in his life, and there's great chemistry between him and Hillary Burton. It's very sweet and believable. The snooty rich parents are perfectly played. They have a secret of some kind or something in their life that's not fulfilling to them, but they've never actually said anything to one another about it. So that gets revealed. Tim Conway is in this movie, and he, without giving a spoiler, he is phenomenal. He steals the show. I love it, if for no other reason, for Tim Conway, the dog, the gift of a Slinky, and the Twinkie cake. And that's why I believe it needs to be on this list, and I put it at number 10.
All right. Very compelling arguments. Sarah, were you won over by it?
Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? You just gave a wonderful argument why this should be 1, 2, or 3, not 10. And you sat there as a woman who has done this, and you went, oh, I know how to get Sarah's veto out of her. And hell yeah, I'm vetoing the hell out of this. Are you? I came in, and there are things I stood on, and this is one of them. No way in hell does Surprised by Love go on at number 10. Ugh.
I am shocked. Really?
Okay.
Oh my God. No, not at number 10.
Tell us how you really feel, Sarah. I think you're like holding back a little.
I'll say it. I'm a 9 on an enneagram. I am fueled by rage. I generally keep that tucked, but I have no strategy going into this. But there are things I will throw. Are you? No. So that's where I stand. Love you all.
All right.
Holy
Well,
bucket.
Lynn, while you decide what you're going to submit for number 10, again, Emily, tell us how you feel about Surprised by Love.
Sarah, that was the most passionate veto I've ever seen
Yes,
on the draft.
it really was.
Thank you for using your only veto. Just saying that. Actually, here's the thing about this movie. I actually find this movie very, 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 very boring. Yeah. So I would have been fine with it at 10, but now knowing that this is coming higher up, I got 2 vetoes. We'll see how the rest plans out. But it is what it is. But Sarah, thank you for your passion.
Sarah,
I was not expecting that.
No, Catherine,
Get ready
how
to play.
do you feel about Paul Campbell and Hillary Burton and Surprised by Love?
This is one that I've always liked. It's one of those ones that just comes on and you're like, okay, yeah, throw this one on. Feelings about Paul Campbell may have changed, but I can still watch it and appreciate the movie. And I don't think it's boring, but I I don't necessarily think it needs to be on the top 10, so I don't hate the veto, although I think Sarah's veto is to make it come back later. So I think we'll find out soon, but don't hate it. It's fine. And it's invited to Bofsky's, who are some of the best writers in Hallmark.
So much. I thought I was going to be the only one to, actually
Oh
like it.
man, Hillary Burton,
Tim
man.
Conway alone makes this
Conway.
movie fantastic.
That's the only reason why I would watch is
Yeah.
Tim Conway. I would tell you, if you saw my list right now, the words that's after that, I will not share it now. But
Hillary Burton has a way better movie than this. It doesn't fit into this trope, but this
Yeah,
is
no,
Yeah.
absolutely. But
this
she's
is
great.
not her best Hallmark movie.
All
She's
right.
great.
Well, Lynn has sent me her number 10. And this movie is just from last year, 2022. Brooke D'Orsay and Jonathan Bennett in Wedding of a Lifetime. Jake and Darby were high school sweethearts and have been engaged for 10 years. They finally admitted to themselves that marriage to each other is no longer in the cards for them. Just as they're about to tell their friends and family that they've broken up, they're whisked in front of a national viewing audience on live television to learn that their families and friends nominated them for a Wedding of a Lifetime contest. And they're one of the 4 finalists who will be competing on TV to win the contest. Lynn, why should this be at number 10?
So I liked this movie, but it didn't make the top half of my list. Full confession, I used to work for PBS television here in New Hampshire, and like many PBS employees, we are diehard closet reality TV show watchers. So Survivor Superfan right here. Amazing Race, sign me up, right? Yeah, Emily and I will do Amazing Race together. Absolutely. So right away, the premise drew me in. I love Brooke D'Orsay. I think she's got great comedic timing. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's very relatable. Jonathan Bennett is hilarious in this movie. The morning show name, Hey Good Day, just cracks me up anytime I see that sign. They used it in another movie as well. I just, for those of us on the panel, I really struggled with whether or not this movie was really even eligible, because I didn't think that they had been broken up long enough and all of that, but it is eligible. And so that's why it's lower down on my list. I had it at number 9. So I'm just playing my list in order, and that's why it's where it is.
All right. Sarah, you don't have a veto, but how do you feel about Wedding of a Lifetime?
Oh, I think it's great. That's fine. Those 2 hijinks, yes, all good things.
Yep.
That foam
Yeah.
fight, I want to play that game.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, so I'm all for it. This one works
Right.
for me.
Yep. Right. All right. Emily, are you going to use one of your 2 vetoes for Wedding of a Lifetime?
I'm not, because I am going to save them. But also, I had this at 8 on my list, so I am fine with this. I thought there's a lot of funny moments. I think this is the first movie actually that I've actually enjoyed Brooke D'Orsay more, because she is more funnier, and she's funnier in this one than I think any other ones. Of course, it was after. This is before. No, I take that back. Never mind, because that was last year. I was going to say I liked her better in Dickens of a Holiday, but that was in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But
My favorite one
Yeah.
with Brooke D'Orsay is the one that she's in with is it Eric Mabius? It's the dating one.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
cute.
the
Oh,
date-
2012, How to Fall in
It
Love.
is cute.
Mhm.
I love
That's a
that
cute
movie.
one.
I love that movie. So, yay!
All right. Well,
yay!
we have locked in our first movie, Wedding of a Lifetime, at number 10. And Catherine, how do you feel about Wedding of a Lifetime?
Yeah, I like the leads in this one a lot. We talked about Jonathan Bennett is like really funny in this movie. He gets to show his comedic chops a little bit in this one. I have an all the feels moment for this movie. It's when they are getting ready for this like reality TV show produced wedding, and they both run out, like they can't do it, and they run out and kiss in the street, and it's like such a great scene. And
Yes.
that's the one that stands out to me the most. Ultimately, I don't want to give away my top 10 yet, but this one wasn't in my top 10, but I don't hate it. And I think it's good where it is on the list. So nice work, guys.
All right. Sarah, you have pick number 9. So when you're ready, you can send that on over to me. I love Jonathan Bennett, so Wedding of a Lifetime was fun to watch. He's always fun to watch. He just seems to enjoy his craft very much so. So
He's Aaron
all right,
Samuel.
Sarah. Yeah. Sarah has sent over her pick. Yes. It is from 2011, starring Bonnie Somerville, Jordan Bridges, and Shelley Long. It is Holiday Engagement. Hillary is happily engaged to successful lawyer Jason King, whom she will bring home to meet the family for the first time at their Thanksgiving get-together weekend in a week's time. However, Hillary's life starts to fall apart when simultaneously she loses her part-time newspaper writing job and Jason dumps her to focus on his career. So she hires David, an actor played by Jordan Bridges, to come to her home and pose as her boyfriend. Sarah, why do you like Holiday Engagement?
It's for me, it's classic old Hallmark, because it was back when Hallmark still was a little naughty. It's like there's this, I don't know when it happened, but it was like all of a sudden Hallmark was like, oh, we're wholesome. But back in 2011, they weren't wholesome. They were saying things that you're like, no, so I love that. I love that it's bonkers. I thought they had good chemistry together. I mean, it was fine. But Shelley Long is crazy, and that's familiar for her, but she always does it really well. So yeah, I liked it. It's the classic humor that I just enjoyed. So
all right, Lynn, how do you feel about Holiday Engagement?
I love this movie. This was actually number 7 on my list. Sarah, you and I, not only are we holding up New England together, we can watch Hallmark movies together.
yeah, they're good. They're good.
They're so good. So Jordan Bridges as David, Jordan Bridges as anything gives me Ryan Reynolds vibes. He totally does. Right? Yes, Sarah gets it. And I love Ryan Reynolds. He just gives me Ryan Reynolds feels. He's hilarious. He's charming, especially in his interactions with Shelley Long as the mom. She's up late. She's decorating. She's by herself. He jumps in. There are some really tender and poignant moments. Haley Duff plays the sister. OMG, right? She's fabulous. This is the perfect role for her, but like I said, there are some poignant moments because, sprinkled throughout where anyone who's ever felt, I don't know, pressure to make different life choices in order to please their family, right? That's kind of a thread to this. And I honestly don't know what Jordan Bridges is doing these days, but I wish he would make more movies for Hallmark because I miss him. And this movie holds up really well, I think, given its age. So I'm happy with it where you have it at number 9. I wish it was a little higher, but not enough to use a veto.
All right, Emily, any feelings about?
I'm happy with that 9 too. This is fine by me. I have a few things. Shelley Long gives a really good performance in this. So I thoroughly enjoy that. But my major beef with this movie is moving to Pittsburgh is not where the money is. I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh, and that's not where the money is.
I wrote that down. So I was like, say what?
I just watched this for the first time a few weeks ago when we were doing this. I literally looked at the TV. I go, hell. So that's my only big concern. It made me chuckle because it is what it is. But also they were a little bit scandalous too in this when they were changing into the pajamas and all that stuff. So I fully support this being at 9.
All right. Well, then we are locking Holiday Engagement in at 9. And Emily, you have pick number 8 if you want to send that over to me. I will tell you, Holiday Engagement is one of my, it's the go-to every year. I want to see it. I hadn't seen it in a couple of years. So I really enjoyed rewatching it for this because Shelley Long alone makes this movie. It really is great. And I think Catherine has trivia about holiday engagements. You want to?
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't think this is the one you're thinking of there, Erinbeth, but I can. This one was a boring one. I don't want to say my trivia for this one. What I will say, I do want to speak to like the old school naughty Hallmark to when did it start getting like so saccharine. For this draft, I really noticed that because we have a lot of movies from like each period of Hallmark in this list of 20, and I called these like the pre-Bill Abbott years. So Bill Abbott was at Hallmark. I looked this up from 2009 to 2021. So this was technically in the Bill Abbott years, but I think it's before he really like took hold of these movies and made them like and they're all cookie cutter, like let's get it straight, but they're like the Bill Abbott years proper are like the most cookie cutter, saccharine, nothing like dirty, nothing bad, like, you know, so I think that this one kind of fell into that little sweet spot before he kind of changed these movies. And there's still great movies within those years that he was there, but I think that's why we kind of hold a little nostalgia for these movies because it was before they were taken over.
Yeah. Deb, I've never made that correlation, but we do know he made cookie cutter movies. I liked your question because it brought in what Lynn said.
Oh, really?
It holds up. It holds up because she asked what Hillary's fiance Jason drives in the movie, and it's a Tesla. And I'm like, that just is like, it still holds up. It's like, yeah, they're all, yeah, he drives a Tesla.
Yeah, it stood out because I was like, Teslas were around in 2011.
Wow. Catherine with like the deep background Brian Harold take there. That was awesome.
Oh, thank God.
I've seen that movie a million times and I never noticed that.
I would say it may have been a boring question, but it really backed up Lynn.
Good point.
So, right.
Beth, I won't talk.
Now I'm going to be dreaming about, Jordan Bridges in a Tesla.
Tesla.
It wasn't Jordan Bridges.
Making money in Pittsburgh.
It was
making money in Pittsburgh.
All right. Emily has sent over her pick for number 8, and it is from 2019, starring Brittany Barstow and Matt Cohen. It is Holiday Dates. Brooke thinks her boyfriend Ethan is going to propose to her, but instead he breaks up with her right before the holidays. She's been telling her family about him and doesn't want to go home without Ethan. She gets an actor named Joel, a friend of a friend, to pretend to be Ethan. This way, Brooke will still have her holiday date, and Joel can immerse himself in an acting role like the one he's going to be in. Problems arise when fake Ethan is nothing at all like real Ethan, and Brooke has been talking about. Things get very, very complicated. All right, Emily, why Holiday Date?
I just find this very quirky and fun. And this is Brooke Bristow's first leading role in Hallmark, and I thoroughly enjoy that. I've always liked her. The parents are great in this movie. They really take him underneath the wing as soon as they learn that he is Jewish, which is like, spoiler alert.
No.
But this is, I think one of the funniest scenes the funnest scene that I like is when he starts learning more about what Christmas actually is. And I don't know. I just like, it's really funny. It's very entertaining. I would watch it again and again and again because it's also an easy watch. And then when her ex-boyfriend comes in, that scene, that gets a little crazy and I enjoy it.
All right.
I can see Sarah's face. I don't know.
Sorry.
Sarah, how do you feel about Holiday Dates?
It's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. I'm not fighting on it. I have no vetoes to stand on anyway. No, I was just reading trivia that said that Matt Cohen, who plays Joel, gave his reason for being an actor as being in the family business, and that he also appeared as young John Winchester in Supernatural, where the family business is saving people hunting things. So I found that funny. So in Hallmark, they're like, yeah, I'm in the family business, saving people hunting things. That's all I could think of.
Right, Lynn, how are you feeling about Holiday Dates?
I love this movie. This is actually number 6 for me. what I love about this is that there's a double fake, right? So there's a fake Ethan in a fake relationship. And right there, I was hooked. I love that he's, supposed to be Mr. Christmas as Joel, but he's actually, Jewish and celebrates Hanukkah. There's a great supporting cast that's just fabulous with lots of familiar faces. The brother-in-law is played by Peter Benson and is a riot. He's just, the guy is just striving so hard to be liked by his father-in-law, right? It's just really great. He's got great timing. Bruce Boxleitner is the dad, and he's hilarious. Edward Ruddle plays the real Ethan, and he's just so good as the douchey boyfriend, right? And whenever he plays douchey boyfriend roles, he's really good. He gives me Leo DiCaprio vibes for some reason, and I don't know why, especially in this movie. He co-starred in Lifetime's Single and Ready to Jingle Christmas movie this past December. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it was really good. I really like that a lot. So yeah, I'm totally fine with it. My favorite scene in this movie is when Joel, as the fake Ethan, who's supposed to be this great architect, is trying to build a gingerbread house, and it is a hot mess, just a hot mess. So I wish it was up a little higher, but no, this is good. I'm not gonna use a veto. Nice job, Emily.
Great.
Yeah.
Holiday dates. Douchey boyfriend. Holiday dates. Best part is Bruce Boxleitner. I'm sorry, he had my heart at Scarecrow and Mrs. King, and he hasn't left my heart since. So every time I see him in something in Hallmark, I'm like, it's Boxleitner. But I was just laughing because I felt like I read Holiday Engagement, and then we were talking about Cookie Cutter Bill Abbott, and then I start reading Holiday Tea, and I'm like, oh, like these are the same holidays. Except for we had Bruce Boxleitner instead of Shelley Long. We grabbed our 80s television actor too. So we will lock Holiday Date in at 8. And Lynn, we're back up to you for 7. So if you want to think of yours, what do you think of Holiday Date, Catherine? I feel like you have a look on your face like you may have something to say.
I can't believe this one made the top 10. I'm sorry, you guys. I hated this movie. Like, I remember when we first watched it back in 2019. And it was the bottom of my Christmas list that year. I think the Peter Benson and the dad, Bruce, whatever, Erinbeth's love interest over there. I think they're funny. And the only redeeming quality of this movie, I also like Tara Rothery, who plays Brittany Bristow's mom, but they can't save how dumb this movie is. And I'm sorry, but I'm not drafting today. So this is...
It's hard to be on the other side of the table, isn't it?
It's a new feeling. Yes, I would have used it on this. Yeah.
Geez, Catherine, even Dan liked this movie.
Did he?
I think he did actually. He said so. I remember him saying something positive, like at least they didn't have to explain Hanukkah, to us. And the Jonathan Shapiro. Jonathan Shapiro is the when he did the review with them. I mean, that was just a laugh fest and a half.
It was where this guy that was the Jewish guy didn't know anything about Christmas. That was just like, okay, come on. It's like, I don't know. It's not my choice today. So.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
Emily and Sarah and I will watch this movie together, and we'll be great.
I have Lynn's pick for number 7. I'm not surprised at the placement, but I'm not surprised by the movie. It is from 2013, starring Katrina Law and Jordan Bailiff. Is that right? Greta Kane is a tabloid reporter at Pulse Gossip in Los Angeles. It's her job to expose the rich and famous for the entertainment of the magazine's readers. When word gets out that one of the late Senator Tannenhill's 2 sons might be proposing at the family's Big Bear compound during Christmas, Greta and her chief rival, Wes, are challenged by their editor to get the scoop. Greta winds up at the Tannenhill estate wearing her friend's wedding dress. It's a long story, and is rescued from the cold by Ben Tannenhill. Ben's younger brother shows up with Ben's ex-girlfriend as his date, so Greta agrees to pretend to be Ben's girlfriend. I realized I didn't say the name of the movie. It is Snow Bride from 2013. So, Lynn, why Snow Bride?
So, Emily and Sarah, if you do not like the fact that this movie is on the list, you can blame Sarah, because I had completely forgotten about this movie until Sarah had come forward with, here are some movies that I think are eligible. So I rewatched it. So this movie grabbed me in the first 10 to 15 minutes because of the slapstick comedy, right? Like she's in a wedding dress, she's tumbling down the hill. It's her friend's wedding dress that had just been cleaned because of a mark that was on it. And now she is wearing it to keep warm in this, snowstorm, etc. So it's really funny. Katrina Law I think, does such a good job in this role. She's currently on NCIS on CBS TV. She's been in a million series and feature films. Jordan Belfi gives me Ben Stiller vibes. Like I kept waiting for him to make a joke, like a over the top joke or something, like in Meet the Fockers. I was waiting for this movie to transition into that. But I like this movie. It's a great ensemble cast. There's a good amount of hijinks. I just liked it.
All right, Sarah, are you happy you brought this movie to Lynn's attention?
I mean, no, that's not true. I don't hate it. I am not a fan of Katrina Law. Oh God, she just overacts like the entire movie. I am sorry, Emily.
Have you been watching?
I'm sorry. The woman is just constantly over it. And then her professional photo, she is literally making a duck face. Who makes a duck face for their professional photo? Give me a break. Now, the flip side is they had really good chemistry and the guy was really sweet. I liked Patricia Richardson. I thought she was worth the price of admission. Like, for sure. Like, but literally,
and the guy
for me,
who played the butler too.
Yeah, so
like
great.
His chemistry with Patricia Richardson.
Oh my God, they were beautiful. Like, literally, the worst part of the movie is Katrina Law. There's nothing you can do about it. I literally can't stand her. But I also assumed it would be on the list because by and large, I think Dan was like, "Oh, I love Katrina," and I'm like, "Whatever." Like, don't even come at me, bro.
Dan's not here, so it doesn't matter.
No, he liked her. That's my point. Is he liked her, and I violently do not. So
I like Katrina.
Are we going to have a Zoom meetup for everyone to discuss Katrina Law, just like we had to do with Tracy and Meghan Markle?
You're defending your choice 2 times over, which in this case, I don't think you need to defend it because I'm perfectly fine having this on the list. I actually had this higher.
I know. And that's why I was like, well, I knew it would make it to the list. I'm fine with it being at 7 as long as it's not any higher than that.
All right. So Emily, you did have it on your list,
I did,
but it was higher. So
I'm not telling you where I had it on my list yet because that's for the end of the show. But at 7, I will keep it at 7.
All right.
I love this movie. This is a good movie. I mean, Patricia Heaton, just in general, she gives me all like the feels. I just love her so much. And her in this movie is great, especially with Butler. But Katrina Law, I adore her. She's very pretty. I saw her in person at Christmas Con. Did not meet her, but she was a delight, I hear.
This past year in December, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
She had a great wardrobe.
I bet.
Well,
I bet.
We are locking Snow Bride in at 7, and I will stand with Sarah in solidarity. I do not see what everyone sees about this movie.
I mean, like I said,
everything else or about Katrina Law.
Well, no, I think I don't say the same thing about Katrina Law, but this movie, I don't understand because I know this is everyone's like, I said, I'm not surprised this is on the list. I'm actually surprised at it being so low on the list because I know how much everybody loves it. So, Catherine, how do you feel about tell us how you feel about Snow Bride while Sarah thinks of her number 6 and sends
Yeah,
it over
no,
to me.
I absolutely love Snow Bride. I will play my cards early. I don't care. This is my number 1 of the, the 20 we had to pick from. I think this movie stands up. Give it a little more cash, and this would be better than like Sweet Home Alabama and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This is, and Katrina Law is great in this movie. Jordan Belfi is great in this movie. I love Bobby Campo as like the brother. He's so perfect. Susie Abramite plays like the bad guy, and she is so good in this. This movie is like a classic Hallmark movie. It falls into that sweet spot before like Bill Abbott made everything the same. It was even actually filmed in LA. It takes place in LA. It was actually filmed there. It was filmed in Big Bear, which is a few hours outside. And it wasn't filmed in Canada. Like it was like a little more authentic than all of these other movies. And I think it's great. I'm glad it's on the list. I would have had it way higher, but I'm interested. That's interesting that there's such like conflicting feelings about it.
You're right. The woman, the actress who played the girlfriend, the way that she turns on a dime with her affections is hilarious, scary, and
she's
ready
great
for lifetime.
because there's also she does a Hallmark movie where she's like the sweet leading lady, and I'm like, this girl, she did it. She could play both sides perfectly. She was great. Yeah.
All right. Well, Sarah has sent over her pick for number 6, and she has offered up the very first fake relationship movie from Hallmark with Kelly Williams, Patrick Muldoon, and Charles Durning. We know we know that it's old because there is literally one sentence for its tagline. On Christmas Day, Santa brings 2 lonely people together, but can love overcome deception? It is A Boyfriend for Christmas. So Sarah, let us know why A Boyfriend for Christmas.
So I watched this movie the year it came out, and it became an annual tradition at our house. I had a couple of single roommates, and literally every year I'd be like, guys, we have to watch A Boyfriend for Christmas. Maybe this is the year Santa brings us a boyfriend under the Christmas tree. And so nostalgia aside, it is wackadoo. The whole movie is just absolutely one Looney Tune decision after another. I have, I think the sister-in-law Carol is literally the worst human being in the world. And Ted, it has no boundaries and is a jackass. And I hate him with just the fire of 1,000 suns. But I none of these things make me hate the movie. It makes me actually just love it because I'm like, oh, they still get together. So it is at number 6 for that reason.
All right, Lynn, how are you feeling about A Boyfriend for Christmas, the OG of fake relationships?
This movie is not on my list. Love you, Sarah, but I am really tempted to veto it.
That's okay. I have some more choices, so I can always put it up higher.
I know, that's my one concern. And I have a veto override. And Mrs. Walker is covering her mouth and half her face, so I can't read her expression. So I don't know if she would be supporting me or not if I veto it. Oh, God. It's not on my list. And there's so many other movies. We only have 10. We have to cut these 20 eligible in half.
It's a hard decision, Lynn.
Lynn, you also have a veto override though, too.
I know, but I can only play the override if somebody vetoes something. I can't just veto, like if she plays it again higher up on the list, I can't just say veto override because, you and your little Andrew Walker pillow won't be playing your veto necessarily. Is he there?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, hi, Andrew. Nice of you to join us.
Andrew's here.
Hey, Survivor fan Lynn, I think Emily was just trying to make a little side alliance with you.
I think she probably was, but maybe. Okay, I'm sorry, Sarah. I have to veto.
That's okay.
veto.
I've got 4 and 2. Don't you worry, darling. I'll get back on there.
I know.
All right. Well, Lynn has vetoed A Boyfriend for Christmas at 6.
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
So Sarah, if you want to,
Can I see some?
Yeah, you can say something.
This wasn't on my list either. but it is the OG.
Mhm.
It is the OG.
So does it belong here? It must belong up higher because look at pizza. All right. Okay. Sarah was ready. She was ready for this. She is set. While I find it, Catherine, how do you feel about A Boyfriend for Christmas? It is the original.
I really like Boyfriend for Christmas. I mean, as much as Sarah and I disagreed about Snow Bride, we agree about this one.
And you guys are
Um,
driving
very
me to
good.
drink.
I
All right. Well, our next pick offered up is from 2018 with Jen Lilly and Brant Daughtry, Lindsay Wagner. It is Mingle All the Way. Molly creates and launches Mingle All the Way, a new networking app designed to pair up busy professionals for upcoming events without long-term romance. An investor wants her to test the app, which forces her to join it herself. Molly and Jeff, the man the app has paired with her, have already bumped into each other twice and didn't exactly enjoy it. Nevertheless, they agree to stay matched for all their respective upcoming holiday business and family gatherings. All right. Tell us why Mingle All the Way, Sarah.
Brant Daugherty. There was a plot, but I like watching him. So I'm not. I mean, Jen Lilly was just snippy enough that it wasn't too awful. Like, you know, she was just perfect. Sometimes she can get a little too snippy, but I really liked her in this. Brant Daugherty, did I mention that? So yeah. I liked the app. I liked Brant Daugherty. So yeah. Yeah.
All right. Lynn, do you have any strong feelings toward Jen Lilly or Brent Daugherty?
Brant Daugherty, maybe.
So
Maybe Brent Daugherty.
my reaction was Brant Daugherty, full stop, the end. No, but seriously, I would actually put this at number one if I could, if there weren't so many other ones that were, that were higher. When he tells Lindsay Wagner, who plays the mom, that, she doesn't realize just how talented and bright and successful her daughter is, even though she doesn't want to go into the family business. I think it's accounting or something like that. It's such a beautiful moment. I know that it's, she's hiding around the corner overhearing it, but for once, it's not a misunderstood overheard. She's actually hearing something, positive and everything else. Brant Daugherty, I think, is just my very favorite Hall star. He's so much more than a face and a hot body, although who doesn't love him, right? But he's in another movie with his wife, whatever, that he co-wrote called A Christmas Movie Christmas, which pokes fun at Hallmark Christmas movie tropes and everything else, and that's really, really good. And he's in a fake relationship movie called Accidentally Engaged that wasn't eligible for this draft because it's not a Hallmark movie, and that's really good if you haven't seen it. Sometimes I find Jen Lilly's characters to be a little insipid and bland, or she's in like Chihuahua mode where she's just right. So, but this one I actually really like her in. She's a strong businesswoman. She's determined. She's confident in the apps that she built, and they make a really great pair. And Brant Daugherty, full stop, enough said.
All right, Emily.
Brant.
Not Andrew, right?
No. Andrew knows how I feel. I've liked Brant for years outside of even Hallmark. I actually think this is one of Jen Lilly's best movies because, as Lynn said, she can be like a chihuahua. My actually point that I also wanted to bring up is, given Brant's Christmas movies and Hallmarks, he plays this trope twice because he played it this year for #Xmas. Yes. But this, I really like this. I always liked it. This was actually in my top 5. I'm completely fine with it at 6. And I really wish this app really did exist for folks like me.
Yeah, this is a cool app, right?
It's a cool app. So happy to develop it with anyone who will give me all the millions of dollars to do so. Thank you. The end.
This was my number 5, Sarah. This was my number
that's
5.
nice.
So I think we're all kind of together. And Emily, have you met him at
No,
any of
but
the events that you go to? What?
I walked past him multiple times.
You breathed the same
I
air.
breathe the same air as Brand.
It's almost the same thing as meeting somebody.
It's not like kissing Andrew, but it will do.
All right. Well, we are locking Mingle All the Way in at 6. Let's recap. We have Wedding of a Lifetime at 10, Holiday Engagement at 9, Holiday Date at 8, Snow Bride at 7, Mingle All the Way at 6. Hopefully everybody is happy so far with this list. Does anyone need a break?
Good.
Thumbs up. We're all good. All right, then
Yeah.
we will keep going with Emily and her number 5 pick. So, Catherine, how do you feel about Mingle All the Way?
I like Mingle All the Way. It's one of those ones that I've rewatched many times. It gets dumber every time I rewatch it, but that doesn't make me like it less. Because Brant Daughtry and actually generally their scenes together are great. The mom's terrible in this movie. And that leads me to, I think, Erinbeth's favorite one of my trivia questions. And I think we need to bring it up before we move on from Mingle All the Way. So
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, okay. Lindsay Wagner plays Molly's mom in Mingle All the Way. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, she starred in multiple TV series and TV movies as Jamie Summers, otherwise known as who?
The $6 Million Woman?
No, but you're on the right path.
No,
then.
Oh, no.
You're in the right show.
Got it.
You're in the
Emily
right
got it.
show.
Emily got it.
Yeah.
What was it?
The Bionic Woman.
Oh, the Bionic Woman.
Yeah. I'm like, you're in the right show, just the wrong character.
The wrong character. Oh my gosh. Who's the you know who else is in this movie, Mingle All the Way? The guy who plays her assistant in the app, and he's in so many Hallmark
Yes,
movies.
he was in Rip in Time. He was like the best
Yes,
in Rip in Time.
I can't think of his name at the
It's one of
moment
those
because
Canadian guys that shows up all the time.
because of Aaron's cocktail. But yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, Emily has come in hot with her pick for number 5. And that is from 2014, Sarah Lancaster, Kip Pardot, and Brandon Quinn in Looking for Mr. Right. Annie Butler is a struggling writer who fakes a relationship with George Monroe to save her writing career while overlooking the love of her lifetime friend, Henry. So it is Looking for Mr. Right, or possibly My George, depending on where you wanted to go find it. It has several different titles. So Emily, tell me why Looking for Mr. Right?
I just find it really charming and adorable. I've always liked Sarah Lancaster. Brandon Quinn for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Support.
Nobody's arguing.
That look, that he's if you all don't know Brandon Quinn right now, he's currently, or I suppose, yes, is on Sweet Magnolias.
Mhm.
But anyway, I really just
Tell me ladies drafted this list without telling me ladies drafted this list.
I mean,
This list.
also it could be the alcohol. I don't know. But Vivica A. Fox is also in this, and I find her, as much as a pain in the tush she can be in most movies, I find her decent in this one. So that's really nice to see. And I think this movie has a lightness to it as well. And I think everyone should watch it.
Emily is coming in very confident with Looking for Mr. Right, since
And-
nobody against her has any
you guys can
vetoes.
see Lynn right now.
So Lynn, go ahead and tell us how you feel about this movie.
Sarah's first, though.
Oh, I'm sorry,
What-
Sarah.
Sarah
Well,
goes first.
I will have to say that Lynn had the
Oh, she's got a reaction.
most
No, no.
upset
Yeah.
reaction. So Sarah, you go ahead and go, and then we'll let Lynn go.
I mean, it was. I mean, look, all I have to say is I've got a boyfriend for Christmas that is coming back, and mine is better than yours, so we're good.
To each their own. I mean,
Hey, Lynn.
No, I mean, Sarah Lancaster's fine. She was cute when she was on Chuck, and that's fine. This movie is fine. It's fine. It's whatever. Does it make a top 10 list in my opinion? Not necessarily, but I can't fight you on it. It's not some of the others I don't have on my list. So there's that. I don't see Tori Spelling anywhere near here, so we're good as far as that goes.
Sarah very much is taking a page from Catherine's book with "It's fine, it's fine."
The
It's
best
fine.
critique there is.
So, Lynn, tell me, is it fine?
This is not fine. I am not okay. I do not have a veto. I am upset. My head is exploding here. Oh my God. I can't. I don't have a veto. Sarah doesn't have a veto. There's nothing I can do about this. This is not on my list. This is not on my list.
And you guys, Emily has the #1 also. So you
So
guys,
we
here's
know.
the thing is what's his face, the lead actor. Yeah, he's totally fine. This is a waste of Oscar Nunez, who plays what's his face's brother. Oscar Nunez just steals the show in one of my very favorite movies, which is The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds,
that's
right?
the one.
And Sandy Bullock,
Mhm.
right? Sandy, like I know her. And maybe I do. Never
Maybe
know.
you
'Cause
do.
I'm super
Probably
private.
breathe the same air.
Um,
on yourself.
Because I am super private. But this, no, but whatever. So I will embrace Alonzo's tagline and say it's fine, but it's not fine, and I'm not happy. But I can't do anything about it.
After this is all
Well-
over, if this was actually going to be vetoed, I would have told you what's in its place, but I'm not going to give that up.
All right. Well, we'll say it at the end because I would
Yeah.
love to know
Yeah.
if it had been vetoed.
All right. Well, Sarah and Lynn are going with "It's fine" because they have to.
No, it's
As
not
we
fine.
move-
I just have to.
As we move into #4, which is Sarah, if you want to send me over what your pick is. And Catherine, looking for Mr. Right or Mr. George. We thank you to Catherine. I hadn't seen this in a very long time. I may have watched it once. She told me where I could find it, so I did get to rewatch it. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, this one's, I agree with the critique that it is fine. It is standard Hallmark. There's nothing terrible about it, nothing great about it though. And I do like do we say Brandon Quinn, that's his name, right? I do like him. So that saved it, but he's not really in this movie very much. And Oscar Nunez, I was shocked, like you're right, this is a waste of him. And this is post The Office, which is
Yeah,
surprising to me
exactly.
that these are roles that he was still being offered after he was on this like major hit TV show. So that's surprising to me. I mean, I'd like to see the timeline because I know The Office wasn't a runaway hit. It took a while for it to become what it is now. But this is so standard, like middle of the road Hallmark. I can't believe it's in the middle of this top 10 list, but
So in
Emily's
order
in a
to see
good
this
spot.
movie, I had to go through my Amazon Prime and get a free trial
Mhm.
subscription to
Mhm.
some obscure platform. I can't even remember the name of it.
Pixel.
Pixel.
And it was found under Mr. Right because of
No,
Catherine. you
it
did
was
the deep.
Mr. George.
Mr. George.
My
sorry,
George.
Yeah.
My George,
Mhm.
My George.
like her book.
It was my bug.
And the cover art doesn't even match the like Hallmark cover art.
No.
It's not the same movie. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but it's fine.
So right there, I was annoyed because it was too much effing work to find this thing and watch it. So right there, I was annoyed.
Well, Sarah has sent over her pick for #4, and we're gonna have to see if this is fine. She has resubmitted the OG from 2004, A Boyfriend for Christmas. Lynn,
You did this. This is your fault.
Killing me.
about a boy. Christmas.
I'm
at
counting
4
on
since it's
Emily.
there
I'm
because of your
counting on
veto.
Emily.
All right, and let's just jump right over there, Emily.
So here's the thing. Sarah also has the control for pick one. So given
For
where
two.
this is right
I
now,
have two.
Emily, you have one.
But
and
I
you
have
have
the
one.
veto
Not one,
override.
two.
So if
Not
I
not two. Yeah,
override,
two. I know I have one.
Okay.
But to know that what I would want at one to have this next to it, I would say no to it. So I'm gonna let this stand. I'm sorry,
Yes.
Lynn, but I'm
I just
gonna
need-
let Sarah. I may not never be back on this podcast ever again, but given Lynn's look that she just gave me, but knowing that this could be at two scares the living shit out of me. So I'm just gonna keep it at 4. Thank you.
I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank my roommates. I'd like to thank
I
full-
would
I
venture to
fully back
say
you on
that I'm not vetoing this because I don't want it to sit next to my pick is the best
Bold.
answer I've ever heard for a piece. So number 4, it
Trust me, it's
sticks, a
scary up
boyfriend
there.
for Christmas.
That's scary up there. I've
I have
Oh my
no
God.
comment. I have
Guys,
no
I have been in
comment.
Sarah's shoes. I
Can
get
I
it.
defend this one a little bit? Like, I do
Thank
really
you.
like this one.
Thank
And
you.
I think, like, you take
It's not
apart
even
the-
filmed in HD, for God's sake. I mean,
because it's
come
old. It's an
on.
old movie. But
It's from 2004. What do you expect, Lynn?
I know it's
It's
Hallmark
got
2004. Okay, so if we go back to the timeline, like the Bill Abbott timeline, like
Yeah.
there was the little like world where like holiday engagement sits where he hadn't gone full cookie cutter yet. Right before that was this world of like Santa Claus is real and Santa's son needs a wife and all that kind of stuff. This movie
Yep.
falls into that timeline. And if you take out the dumb Santa Claus magic part, there's a lot of like great parts like set in like some semi-reality. Like I think Kelly Martin like really grounds this movie. I can't remember his name. The guy that plays Austin on Days of Our Lives is great in this movie. Like it's
Yeah.
if you take out the magic and the dumb like Hallmark tropes that were around in the early Hallmark days, this is a good movie, and I think they could remake it now without the magic part, and people would love it. So.
Kelly Williams. It was Kelly Williams, and
It's
she
Kelly
just,
Williams, yeah.
she was freaking like I couldn't believe it. You know, considering, and I know it's a dumb one, but it's just that it's great. So that's all.
It's a well
Thanks,
done
guys.
dumb movie.
I will say that Kelly Williams did very well in this movie. I don't think I would actually agree with, Patrick Muldoon, but Kelly Williams did fantastic in this movie. And I do like Kelly Williams. Well, I wonder what I don't know. She's still acting. I don't think I've seen her in anything in a long time. But she was in that show where she was a lawyer, and I really liked her. So I think A Boyfriend for Christmas at 4 is fine.
Fine.
Go right there. It's fine. And we are at number 3. We are like blazing through this list. So while Lynn is thinking of her last pick, number 3, then I am going to just recap. We have Wedding of a Lifetime at 10, Holiday Engagement at 9, Holiday Date at 8, Snow Bride at 7, Mingle All the Way at 6, Looking for Mr. Right at 5, A Boyfriend for Christmas at number 4, and Lynn is going to give us our number 3, but she is thinking so very, very hard
So
about it.
here's the thing, guys. There are 4 movies left on my list that I really believe need to be on this list. But I only have 1 pick, and there's only 3 places left because of My Boyfriend for Christmas. Sarah.
It's a
It
boyfriend.
could have been.
It's
It
not
could
my
have been
My
a
boyfriend, your boyfriend, whoever's boyfriend. It's on
Still
this
haven't
list.
got one.
I disagree. So I'm trying to figure out which one of my 4 I should play for the number 3 spot, because I don't know what y'all are thinking.
I mean,
This-
I don't think Sarah is completely to blame for A Boyfriend for Christmas at 4. I mean,
On
you
you.
really have to take some of that responsibility, Lynn,
No, I will not.
because it
Because
could have been
Emily led
lower.
me to believe that she would
And-
veto it.
Lynn,
then-
you could have used that veto for looking for Mr. Right.
Right.
All right. You know what?
Very carefully about this.
You know what? No.
Is this the last
you go.
episode? Is that
No.
what's happening here?
You brought this on yourselves. You brought it on yourselves.
We broke Lynn.
There you go. Yeah, you broke me. And I'm looking right at
Right.
you, Sarah. I am looking right at you.
Okay. Lynn has thrown it down. I'm gonna tell you right
God.
now.
Oh God.
Looks like she's
She
about to
she
throw
has
up.
picked a gem
Oh Lord.
starring Jordan Bridges and Greg German from 2005. The star of the show, Tori Spelling. She has submitted Family Plan. She has a perfect family, but it's someone else's. Charlie McKenzie is an ambitious young career woman who stretches the truth in a job interview by professing to be married with a family. Charlie scrambles to find a husband for hire for just one business dinner with her new boss. Her pretense leads to a great big problem when her boss wants to visit her and her husband at their home. Charlie borrows her best friend's house and daughter to continue the ruse, along with the actor she has hired. Things go off the rails when her new boss moves next door, forcing everyone involved to scramble. All right,
Catherine Leaf.
Sarah.
No.
No, I
let's
get to
take
talk about
Emily?
my movie.
no,
I know, but
no,
where did
no,
Emily
no.
go?
Let's pause for a minute. Emily has dropped out of
Yeah,
You
we
leave
might
in
have to edit.
protest?
We might have to edit.
She
maybe
just
out
got
of
mad.
protest.
There she
Let's
is.
say
She is
I'm
back.
Oh, there
done
we
with
go.
this list.
There she is. There
I
she
was-
is. Okay.
I was gonna say, Erinbeth, just
Okay.
show me.
Yes, you're gonna
Oh
talk
my
about your
goodness,
movie,
walk
Lynn.
or walk off.
I got thrown off when Emily left in protest. She like threw
She just
down her
got mad.
drink and her
Wait,
Andrew
wait.
Walker pillow.
This.
All right.
Did you hear that it was Family Plan, Emily, before you
Yes, I did.
disappeared?
Did you not see me like
Okay.
this?
All right. So, Lynn.
Yeah,
Talk to us
okay.
about Family Plan.
I am going to talk to you about Family Plan because once again, I blame Sarah for this because I had forgotten all about this movie and that it was eligible. So I went to the effort of finding it once again, going on to Amazon Prime, signing up for the Up TV free trial, 7-day trial so I could see this. And oh my God, I am so glad that I did. You have got Tori Spelling aside and her loud shoes and her navel being shown in every scene. Who cares? Because it's got my boy Jordan Bridges is in this, right? And Greg German, who is hilarious as always. If you've ever seen like the old Ally McBeal series, he is just so funny. So this movie is almost like a made for theater release. You've got this great ensemble cast. Everyone has a storyline that rolls up nicely and is featured in the chaos and the crazy. Jordan Bridges just exudes charm. Like I said, he reminds me of my boy, Ryan Reynolds. Really one of the few people that I would ever fangirl over. Greg German is such a great character actor. He was Fish in Ally McBeal, as I said. I never thought I would ever say these words, but Tori Spelling actually does a good job. I said it. The B storyline of her best friend and her best friend's husband's marital issues are funny, and it allows for the whole, here, take my wedding rings, take my house, what the hell, take my daughters, right? To play into this. Everything is, fake. And most of all, you've got like little Abigail Breslin as the daughter, who's like 8 or 9 in this role. And then, she was born in 1996 and this was released in 2005. So she's great as the daughter. And this is her first movie role was in Signs in 2002. So she starred in, the M. Night Shyamalan, whatever movie back then, and I really liked her in that. And then she goes on to get an Academy Award nomination for Little Miss Sunshine, which was released the next year in 2006. So there's a lot going on with Abigail just alone. This is funny. It's bonkers. You know, it's really great. Jordan Bridges is in it. I love this movie. So yeah, there you have it. I stand by it. And I said what I said, Sarah, and you don't have a veto, so you can't stop me. But Mrs. Walker is giving me poker face over here. So
I don't think that's poker face, Lynn.
And she's taking a drink. I think I'm going to get
Drink is
slaughtered.
almost done.
All right, Sarah, you were vocal a little earlier about family plan and Tori Spelling. So talk to
Tori
us
Spelling.
about.
But you know, I got to go with Lynn on this. Jordan Bridges can do no wrong, and he, you know, elevates Tori Spelling, which is, I think somebody has to.
More than her
I think-
platforms. Yeah.
Yes. I think there's a lot, right? And it's the classic Hallmark in that, like, wacky new, what, you know, literally it was like there were no rules, you know, back in the day, where it was like literally anything could happen. You didn't know for sure how crazy things could get. And I think that's fun. So I can't scream and yell out over this. Because, but I don't know how Emily feels about this being next to her number. I don't know anything else. Can't wait to hear.
All right, go ahead, Emily.
I feel better with this being where it is than A Boyfriend for Christmas.
Fair.
All right.
I'm fine. It's fine. It's, if
Uh-huh.
if Jordan
That's fair.
Bridges wasn't in it, Lynn's done with her drink. I'm almost done with mine. I mean, I'm not going to fight too hard over it, because knowing what could actually still also be in this place makes this way more tolerable than my list that says hell no at the bottom. There we have it.
Well, then we will lock in Family Planet 3. Sarah, I'm sorry I was standing next to you for the other movie, but I liked Family Planet.
No, like I
So-
said, it literally is just Tori Spelling. It's not anything else. Like
I agree
it's
with you.
just-
I agree with
couldn't-
you on that.
it's like I couldn't stand her on 902 on Beverly Hills 90210. I couldn't stand her in anything. The poor woman, I'm just like, look, your daddy got you all your jobs. Like,
Yeah.
I can't get past that in my brain.
Was
Anyway,
90210 still on at that time in 2005? I don't
No.
recall.
It was
but-
No,
90s to
no.
2000s.
Was it long
No,
done?
that was the
Yeah.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also had Family Plan has a young Chloe Grace Moretz. She plays
It says that, but where
Plays
was it in
her?
the movie? It says it on
at the
IMDb.
very beginning. She plays a young Tori Spelling. It's like the very first scene of the movie. She's in it for like that long.
2 seconds.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like they have this, like that movie has a list of some people who are doing very well for themselves acting, apart from Tori Spelling, who hasn't been anything in a while. I felt like Family Plan had a very, I don't know if anyone ever has seen Oscar with Sylvester Stallone or Clues the same way. It's the thing where there's so many moving pieces and everything's happening and they're having to hide so much. It made me laugh. I laughed at that movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. When
Good
the
job, Lynn.
when the husband shows up, not the ex-husband, but when the husband shows up and they're all in the living room and it's like, you stand over here, you go over here. And it's like,
and the relationship between Buck and Nicole, the daughter, like the way they're just working together to get her money, and it's a cute movie.
it's worth
Um,
the effort to find this movie. Actually, I wish
Yes.
Hallmark would show it on their own channels, but
Why don't they show the Christmas
All right.
part in this one?
You know what? The Christmas card should be played on every single streaming service.
there's no argument
that way,
there.
that way nobody has to ask.
Nobody should.
How do we segue from that, man?
While Sarah thinks really hard about her number 2, Catherine, tell me what you think about Family Plan.
I honestly, this was right outside my top 10. I put it at 11. I did not hate this movie. And before I came to like the All Saints Christmas drink pairing realization, this was the only movie that had a lot of wine consumption, even though the wine looked super fake. It was like electric purple. Like, so I couldn't use that for my wine pairing on this episode. But I will say, yeah, like all I know Tori Spelling from is 90210. And I thought she was good in this. Like, I didn't have a problem with her. Obviously, everyone loves Jordan Bridges, and I do too. So I didn't have a problem with this movie. And it's old school Hallmark. It's worth seeking out. So
I'm so excited that there are 2 Jordan Bridges movies on this list.
Let's
So
bring him back.
I know,
He
really.
needs to be
Not that
brought
long
back.
ago.
Sign a
He
petition.
does.
He did a weird spring movie not that long ago.
Yes. What was it?
That was
He
okay.
did?
I can't remember. The co-star was the girl from Popular. I don't remember her name. But anyway, you know, I like him
Right.
too.
All right.
His dad was in
Well,
it.
Sarah has sent over her pick from number 2, and it really shouldn't surprise anybody that she has brought back Surprised by Love for her number 2 pick. So, just to refresh everyone's memory, this is a 2015 movie with Hilary Burton, Paul Campbell, and sweet Tim Conway. I just love him so much. So, Surprised by Love. Lynn, you don't have a veto, but how do you feel about this at number 2?
I think it's too far up the list. There are 3 other movies that are competing for this spot with me. I'm glad that it's on the list, but I had it at number 10. It was actually almost 10 or 11 for me. I cannot stop it. It's fine.
Fine. All right, Emily, it's up to you with your 2 vetoes. Does Surprised by Love stay at number 2? She's having to think really hard.
I'm having
on
really,
this.
really thinking really hard about this because I don't, this is what I don't want to happen is my number 1 being chosen as number 2, but I think we all know what number 1 will probably be at this point.
You
So
have 2 vetoes.
I know, but I don't know what to do because if my top 3 are already gone and already in this list, and I'm afraid if I do veto it and my 1 cuts at 2, then we're going to end up with like a really crappy movie at number 1.
Hold on, you have your top 3 are already in the list?
I mean, no. I'm sorry. Like my 2, 3, and 4. I'm sorry. I take that back.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of, but like that also, those don't also need to be at spot number 1.
Mhm.
So I am going to be fine with this. I am sorry, Lynn. I know, but I just can't because what could potentially also come in this position scares me.
I understand. I just
And it's
Oh my
no,
gosh.
nothing else is really other dessert.
Do you need
Unless
to
y'all
take a
want
minute?
All Saints Christmas at number 1 or
Oh,
2
God.
or 3.
I do think this movie deserves to be on the list. I'm in lockstep with Sarah on that. I just wish it wasn't at number 2. I have like
2.
my number 1, my number 3, and my number 4 haven't even been played. Everything else has made it to the list. And I'm scared. I'm scared to see what's going to be coming up.
Well,
I mean,
you
I
still
think I
do have
know,
your veto override.
but I can't override a veto that's not
But you
played. So
Oh, that's right, because Sarah doesn't have an override. So, all right.
it's
Well,
okay.
we're locking Surprised by Love in at 2. So while Emily really considers her number 1, I'm going to refresh our memories of what the list is up to this point. Number 10 is Wedding of a Lifetime. 9, Holiday Engagement. 8, Holiday Date. 7, Snow Bride. 6, Mingle All the Way. 5, Looking for Mr. Right. 4, A Boyfriend for Christmas. 3, Family Plan. 2, Surprised by Love. And Emily has sent her number 1. And it's not too much of a surprise for most people, I think. This is a Bethany Joy Lenz and Tyler Hines joints from 2021. Tyler stars as a blow up unicorn with glitter, and so it is an unexpected Christmas. Emily works at an ad agency and is sent to her ex's hometown before Christmas. She arrives at the train station as her ex, Jamie, is picked up by his family. His family thinks they're still dating because Jamie hasn't told them that they broke up. Jamie convinces her to pretend they're still a couple to avoid ruining Christmas for his family. While they're stuck in his family's home together, the pair discovers their relationship still have some potential, resulting in a very unexpected Christmas. Emily, let's talk about Unexpected Christmas at number 1.
Well, high level thought here is I don't think there's no explanation that is needed here. I like to draft Bethany Joy Lenz movies as number 1 in draft picks. So, and have that be number 1. Tyler Hines, it's a great movie. It's quirky. It's funny. We get Tyler in a unicorn outfit. It is very, very, very comical. I love This Is Pieces. This has been my number 1 movie for a very long time. And it has a cameo by my husband, but that's not the full reason. But ironically, as this was all shaping out to be, we have 2 semi-Paul Campbell movies in the top 3 here, folks, side by side. So ironic with that, I think this should not come as a surprise that this was all of our number 1s. I can tell probably by, well, at least Sarah's face and Lynn's. So I stand by it. I think everyone needs to watch this movie, and I would watch this every single day if I could.
All right. So, Sarah, tell us how you feel about Unexpected Christmas at 1.
So there were hills I was willing to die on, and An Unexpected Christmas had to be at number 1, was one of the hills I was going to die on. Like, for me, I love Surprised by Love. I think Hillary Burton is amazing, but Bethany Joy Lenz hits it out of the park. And I went on the other side and went, oh, look, One Tree Hill people are in the top 3.
Exactly.
But
One Tree Hill comes to Hallmark.
But no, Unexpected Christmas was beautiful. It was funny. And looking at the list, I was like, oh, it's probably more like the old Hallmark as far as the wacky new weird little plot and, shenanigans going on behind the scenes. And that's, I think, why I really loved it. It was a little different. It was unexpected.
And I forgot to mention something too, is I love his sister.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
She cracks me up when they're in the garage, when he started they're drinking the wine together. I don't know. There's just something about that relationship too that I absolutely love. Sarah, I agree with you 100%. And I'm looking forward to see what Lynn has to say.
So this, of course, was my number. This, of course, was my number 1. Of course, I have 3. I mean, first of all, Tyler and BJL. The cameo by your husband. It's heartwarming. It's this great ensemble cast. It's a great, great script. There are 3 scenes in particular that I love. My first and foremost favorite scene in this movie is when Bethany Joy Lenz slaps the cookie out of Tyler's hands in the kitchen. I mean, the timing on that is just hilarious. I could watch that scene over and over and over again. The second one is when she splashes water on his face to wake him up in the morning. I mean, they just play off one another so well. And then the third scene that is my most favorite actually isn't the unicorn explosion, which I think is hilarious, but it's this really sort of charming scene where they're at the fountain. It's at night, and she runs around the perimeter of the fountain. There's just something really lovely in that. I hope that they do another movie together. Tyler Hines and Bethany Joy Lenz are just such a dynamic couple. The script is great. I'm thrilled that this is number 1. I don't think we are surprised. I think we are surprised by love at number 2, maybe even. Who knows? But I think that was a great choice for number 1, Emily. So that's great.
All right. Well, great job, everyone. I'd say a round of applause for our panelists. We have drafted the top 10 list of fake romances at a great time, Valentine's Day. So, Catherine, tell me about your list and what are your feelings on our top 10?
So I only matched 4 from the top 10. So
You did only match.
I will say, so number 8, 9, and 10 were purely on my list because I thought Lynn would try to play all 3 of them.
What are they?
So number 10 is A December Bride.
Of course it's on my
Your
list.
love for Jessica Lowndes.
On my list too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, and I also, you know what? I don't hate that one because Daniel Lissing, there you go. He's great.
Thank you, Catherine.
8 and 9, where 8 was Mingle on the Way, 9 was Xmas because Brant Daughtry. I thought you would try to get both of those on the list, but you got one. Or I don't even think you ended up playing Mingle all the way, but it's there. So, all right. And 7, I put Mistletoe Promise. I was shocked it didn't come up. I thought it was one of these ones that people just love in this trope. And I even I think it came up on the other podcasts.
It came up on the Luke McFarlane. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Luke
McFarlane.
McFarlane, yeah. Number 6, I put Convenient Groom, which is one that I didn't remember loving the first time I saw it, but when I rewatched it for this, it kind of won me over. I thought they were really cute together. So that one was good. Number 5, Hitched for the Holidays. Maybe that was a personal, I just love myself some Joey Lawrence, but Emily's disagreeing with me.
No, I'm agreeing with you because that was on my list for,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, no,
was on
I'm
mine.
surprised. It's a little bit old school Hallmark. It was a good one.
It's batshit crazy though. That's why I like it.
It is. And I love Joey Lawrence. I mean, whatever. You can say what you will about him. He's not a great actor, but he is charming as hell. So
I mean, he stole a police horse. So come on.
I'm gonna come back to my number 4 at the end because 3, 2, and 1 were all on the list. Unexpected Christmas, Boyfriend for Christmas is my number 2, Sarah. So I am on board with you on that. And number 1, Snow Bride. My number 4, I'm sad it didn't come up. I will go to bat for this movie, is All Saints Christmas. I think that you need to go back and watch the speech at the end. All of these movies culminate, there's the misunderstanding and then they get back together and there's the final kiss at the end. The speech that his name's Matthew in the movie, he gives to Lizette before the kiss is one of the better, most well done versions of this that we've seen in these movies. He says I'm always going to say yes to you, and she says she asks him 3 questions and he says yes, 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 and then kisses her.
Roger Cross.
Roger Cross, yeah, it's really good. I also have a soft spot for Nola because I have a lot of extended family out there. Nolans, as Brian Harold would call it.
Nolans.
Music is so good in that movie, and it's kind of funny. I hold that one up against Undercover Holiday, because they kind of were similar. They came out the same year. The girl couldn't sing an Undercover Holiday. Ladisi kills it. She sings so many songs in this movie that are so good. And then the jazz from New Orleans. I love that movie. I'm sad it's not on the list. So that's my top.
Very good. So I matched 5. I got a little worried there for a while. I have to admit this. I was like, this was better than that, but I matched 5. I had Family Plan at 10. That was what saved me because I did like that movie. Convenient Groom at 9. That elicited the biggest cry from me, which surprised me at the end. But I was full on tears sitting in my car because I was watching it while I was waiting for someone. Watching Convenient Groom. All Saints Christmas, I agree with Catherine, deserved to be on this list. I really did enjoy that movie. My number 7 is going to have Lynn's chin all the way to her desk. It is A December Bride. I rewatched this movie.
Believe it.
I rewatched this movie. I
Finally.
complained about it. I texted Lynn and I said, I know why we're doing this, so you can make me watch all of Jessica Lowndes' movies. It was actually good. I was like, this is actually a good movie. I came in with an open mind. When he picks her up and takes her into the house, in front of her ex-boss, that was I was like, that is the best scene. So yes, I did choose A December Bride for my list.
A sleigh for the front yard. Full size, full on.
Yes.
Get out.
Nope.
Stop.
I will step back a little bit with my dislike of her. Number 6 was holiday engagement. Number 5, mistletoe promise. 4, surprised by love. 3, wedding of a lifetime. My number 2 is unexpected Christmas. My number 1, since I watched it originally and it remained this entire time, and I am so sad it's not in this list at all, which is Hitched for the Holidays. I mean, Paula Shaw, Mary Lou Hinner, it's Emily Hampshire before she was on Schitt's Creek. I mean, it is such a great movie. And as we got to the top, I knew, I'm like, it's going to be Unexpected Christmas. I knew it was going to be Unexpected Christmas, but my heart was crying a little for Hitched for the Holidays. So, but yes, I got 5. So one more
Way to go, guys.
than Catherine. But for a while, I'm thinking, gosh, my list is terrible. But what about you guys? Was there anything on your list that didn't get into the top 10 that you wished would have? Let's just go in veto order. Sarah.
Yeah, definitely. I had Hitched for the Holidays. I had the mistletoe promise. I also had like #Xmas, but it wasn't like I was gonna fight for that. I wasn't upset with some of the others, like Looking for Mr. Right that made it on, or even Family Plan. But yeah, I really liked Hitched for the Holidays. I remember the first time I watched it, like literally laughing out loud with some of the shenanigans, especially I think it was when he is at the first time they're lighting the candles, and I don't remember what he did, but he did something doofy, and I cracked up. I was crying, and me and my roommates are sitting there just dying over his whatever ludicrous thing, and I liked it. I liked the fact that he was even a jerk. He was a complete jackass at the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, they don't have the guts to do that anymore.
I know.
Tyler was slightly grumpy. Do they? With the good guys, like that much of it, like he got drunk and treated her like crap.
The guy, that Glacier movie they just did, he was a jerk through the entire thing. They fixed Joey Lawrence really quick. That was the difference.
And I liked that. So yeah, and it's Joey. I mean, I know it's Joey, but it's Joey. So yeah, that one I really liked.
Lynn, can we talk about Hitched for Christmas? I want to know what Lynn thinks about this, because I want to say something, but I want to see what Lynn says.
So you faded out a little bit. What was the question?
What do you think for Hitched for the Holidays?
What do you think Hitched for Christmas?
So it's fine. Joey Lawrence is Joey Lawrence. I like the vibe. I could relate to the whole boisterous families, on both ends, trying to push these relationships. Why can't you be in a relationship for more than 5 minutes? Right. I get that. I think he has a good dynamic with his co-star. I can't think of her name at the moment. It just, it didn't make my top 12. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
I really wish now I played this at 5, because I didn't realize so many people liked it.
Yeah, I was all for it.
Can I amend my top 5 pick to this?
Look at her. She's like, can I change the rules?
I wish you could, but you can't. You've got Looking for Mr. Right over it.
All right, I'm gonna read
It was my drink. I don't know.
I'm gonna read my top 10. So first of all, there were 2 that competed for 11 that didn't make the list at all. So it was a tie between Moonlight in Vermont and All Saints Christmas, which you mentioned, Catherine. So I kept floundering on whether I could incorporate them or not. But my list was actually 10, Surprised by Love, 9, Wedding of a Lifetime, 8, Snow Bride, 7, Holiday Engagement, 6, Holiday Date, 5, Mingle All the Way, 4, The Convenient Groom, which I love that movie. I think Vanessa Marcel does such a great job. David Sutcliffe is great. It's a good ensemble cast. The fact that she has this webinar series for dating called Just Know. And then she refers to herself as Dr. Kate, Dr. Kate Lawrence, PhD. Like she's got to end the PhD after the beginning with the doctor. Bonkers. And the house that makes no sense architecturally with where they are on the deck. Sometimes you have to come up on the back, but you can enter it. Right. Crazy, but I love it. Number 3 for me was, of course, A December Bride. It would be my number 1 if it wasn't for An Unexpected Christmas. Family Plan was my number 2, only because of Sarah. If Sarah hadn't mentioned and kept saying that this movie was, eligible, I never would have watched it again. I would have completely put it out of my head. But now that I've, found it and saw it, it's really funny. It's a funny, funny, bonkers, crazy roller coaster ride. And of course, who doesn't love Tyler Hynes and Bethany Joy Lenz for number 1, An Unexpected Christmas?
Yeah. How about you, Emily? Were there any standouts on your list that didn't make it to the top 10?
I mean, Hitch for the Holidays, we've talked about that. I did have Mistletoe Promise on my list. I was fine. That was right smack in the middle. And then December Bride was actually number 4 for me.
I love you.
And
Yay.
Snow Bride was number 2.
Yeah.
So
Yay.
so it was a toss up, when Snow Bride got so low, I'm like, oh, do I do it? But at least it made it on there. I'm surprised, like we said, December Bride wasn't on there, and now I really wish I played Hitch for the Holidays instead of Looking for Mr. Right.
I almost played it instead of A Family Plan. I really couldn't decide. They were my 2 and my 3. A Family Plan was 2 and December Bride was 3.
See, I didn't like the movies. I didn't like the movies, either The Convenient Groom or December Bride, because I had read the books. And so I knew the books and I knew the story that was from the book. So when I watched the movie, I was like, nah, sorry, that's not how I pictured it. So it was like, I understand why you guys would love it. I'm not a fan of Jessica Lange, so generally speaking, in her, I'm just like, meh. But Daniel Liston can elevate pretty much anything. So I love him. But yeah, so that for me was like, I can't fault anybody. Like it's not like I can sit there and be like, I can't believe you loved that, because I'm like, no, it's just that I knew the books and I remember like following that author on Instagram or Facebook or whatever while they were filming those movies. So when I watched the movies, I was like, nah, nope, that's not the way I saw it. So yeah.
So Erinbeth and Catherine, am I right? Is Emily leaving this game with still
2.
a bonus and a bonus veto?
Yep.
Yes, she is.
You are going to be
Okay.
trouble.
I have to
next
know,
time.
if you had vetoed Surprised by Love, Sarah, what would you have played?
Yes,
Or number 2.
Yeah.
If they had vetoed Surprised by Love, I would have cried, but I would have probably gone for Hitch for the Holidays.
Well, I would have taken that because
my first
didn't
4.
want anyone to play Unexpected Christmas 2 second, because at that rate,
Mhm.
I would have to throw in. God knows what I would have to throw in. It would be
No. My top 4 was Unexpected Christmas, Surprised by Love, The Mistletoe Promise, and Hitched for the Holidays. And for me,
God.
those could have gone in any order. Maybe not Mistletoe Promise. Mistletoe Promise wasn't a number 1 for me, but Hitched for the Holidays, Surprised by Love, and An Unexpected Christmas for me worked in that.
Those were not my top 4, except for Unexpected Christmas at number. What were your top 4, Emily?
It was December Bride, Mingle All the Way, Snow Bride, then Unexpected Christmas.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Agreed.
Sarah, you could have played Unexpected Christmas at 2. I would have had to like go down to like the Convenient Groom or even Paris Proposal.
Oh my God, no. We can't.
No.
I couldn't have stood by that. That's why I was like, no, it's Unexpected
You
Christmas
wouldn't have.
without
You
one.
wouldn't have done Hitched for the Holidays at 1, Emily, if she had gone with
if it
Unexpected Christmas
wasn't-
at 2.
I probably would have been. Well, I might have actually would have went to probably A December Bride, because that would have been like the next on my list that we didn't play.
But Emily, you also had 2 vetoes, so you.
I
could have
know,
vetoed Surprised by Love.
know. But here's
And-
there's 20 movies.
I know.
That's a lot. It could
is a
go
lot.
so many different ways. So
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I'm
what
glad
did you guys
nobody
think
played-
of A Paris Proposal, since we all just watched it last night?
Well, I just
stressed
finished it
out.
this morning thanks to Erinbeth, because like I have my recording got lost. I didn't hate it. I loved how much Paris was in it. And I actually like Alexa Penavega. She did not drive me crazy. And I would like to see the male lead in more movies.
Interesting. Interesting.
I was stressed out. They just stressed me out the whole time. Like there was so much lying, and she was just a little basket of like anxiety. And I just was like, that's cool. I'm good. There was too much anxiety for me.
But
mean,
she was dressed like a millionaire. My
God.
gosh, the fashion
was.
in that movie.
Mhm.
Every time I
did-
turned around, I'm like going, oh my goodness, that outfit is gorgeous.
I
Like
thought
I will give that
dressing-
about that movie.
And I
Yeah.
did wear my rose ring as well.
Cute.
Oh, that's
Fancy.
beautiful. That's great.
Fancy.
I love Paris. It's my favorite city in the whole wide world. I was amazed that she wasn't tripping in her stilettos over the cobblestones because they're barely manageable in flats. But great Paris feels. She's a good enough actress. I think some of the lines were super corny. The parting line at the end, "You make me a butter man." I mean,
Butterman.
Here, man.
I
But the
even had to
kissing-
screen record it and send it to Lynn to confirm to her that yes, he did say Butterman.
I was
I was like, yes, he did.
Oh my gosh.
The kissing
All right,
was good.
Erinbeth,
No,
I want to read the final list for the last time before we say bye.
All right, once more for the final time, here is the ultimate list of the 10 best fake relationship Hallmark movies as drafted by Sarah, Emily, and Lynn. At number 10, we have Wedding of a Lifetime, 9, Holiday Engagement, 8, Holiday Date, 7, Snow Bride, 6, Mingle All the Way, 5, Looking for Mr. Right, 4, A Boyfriend for Christmas, 3, Family Plan, 2, Surprised by Love, and the number 1 fake relationship movie, Unexpected Christmas. Good job, guys.
Great
We
job, you guys.
did it.
Thank you. We did it.
Did it.
Okay, say bye.
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 Hallmark Movie Drafts is produced by me, Lynn Austin, with additional creative and research support from Erinbeth Cermak and Catherine Baca. This show would not be possible without the dedicated and talented Deck the Hallmark podcast double-deckers who share their passionate opinions on these Hallmark movies that we love, or maybe not love, so much. Intro and outro music is courtesy of Amada Zapana. If you love this pod, please leave a 5-star review. It helps other Hallmark movie fans to find us and join in on the shenanigans. Be sure to follow the show at Hallmark Movie Drafts on Instagram.